Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about these controversies over war-making powers, eavesdropping, interrogation. Okay, so you were there, right down the hall from the president. Okay, the country is attacked in 9/11, and you're getting intelligence briefings, and you're picking stuff up,
Right.
I would assume, that's pretty scary stuff about some
Right.
idiot in some part of the world that's thinking about coming over here and blowing something up, right? What is it like to be right there? I mean, it's one thing to be up in the stands critiquing people, but when you have to make the decisions on these issues, what is it like when your head is basically put in a vice and you know somebody's going to try to come and get us?
Yeah, well, look, let me talk about three instances. For example, first, the issue of what do you do with these high-value targets once you get them? You want to squeeze them as much as you can within bounds of propriety. You do not want it in torture, but you want to use every technique that you can in order to extract information from, particularly in the aftermath of 9/11. If you remember, we had enormous concern after 9/11 that we would be hit again. The pattern of al-Qaeda in the past was to stage attacks like they had in East Africa,
right,
where they hit target one after another. So there was concern about that. And the president used his wartime authority in order to make certain that we got as much intelligence within the bounds of the Constitution and within the bounds of our commitment not to torture. Terrorist surveillance program. After 9/11, it became clear that using email and satellite telephones and long-distance telephones, that the enemy was able to communicate inside the United States, and that we had the technical abilities to intercept their messages as long as they passed through U.S. networks. And should a battlefield commander, should the commander-in-chief in a time of war use those abilities in order to get information? You bet. It has protected our country. And the fact of the matter is that when Barack Obama had a chance in the middle of last summer to vote against reauthorizing those powers.
No, he did.
He voted for him.
He voted for him. All right, Carl, but here's
Senator Biden.
Here's the thing. You're a conservative. I'm a conservative, okay? When government has power, it never gives it back unless you take a crowbar and pry it out of the government's hands. Have you ever worried that too much authority to eavesdrop, to spy, to look at things was going to be very intrusive, and that you and I, our liberties, would be disrupted and we would never get them back again? Has that ever worried you?
It has, but only because, but that's not a worry we should really have, because, look, the terrorist surveillance program intercepts messages from people abroad. It's not designed not to listen in on Americans talking to their neighbors. I mean, the only way that you can take a U.S. citizen and listen in on their phone numbers to go get a court order.